Out of every dollar that comes in, the songwriter gets 50 cents and the music publisher gets 50 cents, making that 50% each. ASCAP uses the 50% each for songwriter or publisher for a total of 100% when registering your songs if you are a member of ASCAP. BMI registers with 200%, meaning 50 cents or the 50% that the songwriter gets out of every dollar is 100% of the songwriter royalties. The 50 cents or the 50% that the music publisher gets is 100% of the music publishing royalties. If you administer, exploit your own copyrights, are your own music publisher, you seek opportunities for your own music, you deal with all the licensing and all of the contracts that deal with that, then you get both 50 cents of the songwriter royalties and 50 cents from the music publishing royalties. If you signed a contract with a music publisher, that means you transferred all 6 exclusive rights from your intellectual property over to the music publisher. They then, in turn, would seek opportunities for your music, handle all of the licensing contracts and everything it takes to exploit that music. And they would receive the music publishing royalties, or 50 cents out of every dollar that comes in, or 50% of that dollar. Again, that 50% of a dollar with ASCAP is 100% of the music publishing royalties with BMI. 50% of a dollar with ASCAP is 100% of the songwriting royalties with BMI. What happens if you sign a co-publishing deal? Depending on the negotiated contractual obligations, instead of one music publisher receiving 100% of the music publishing royalties, which is 50 cents out of every dollar, you both now will receive 25 cents each out of every dollar, 50% each of the music publishing income that comes in. Now remember, these percentages are subject to the negotiated contracts that you sign if you sign with someone, whether an individual or a company. So if you are a songwriter and you sign a co-publishing deal, you will receive 50 cents out of every dollar, which is 100% of the songwriter royalties, plus 25 cents or 50% of the music publishing royalties. You would then get 75 cents out of every dollar that comes in for music publishing and songwriter royalties. If you choose to sign with a music publishing administrator, that music publishing administrator works on your behalf, but you don't necessarily transfer any rights over to them. They work for you at a negotiated percentage. The percentages can be as low as 10% and as high as 30%, but all of the rights remain with you. So when you hear talk of referring to publishing income or wanting your publishing, they're referring to that 50 cents out of every dollar that comes in from publishing royalties. Let's say there are 2 songwriters who own a song equally, and they both have the same music publisher. In this scenario, both songwriters would receive 50% each, or 25 cents each, from songwriter royalties. The music publisher would receive the 50 cents from the music publisher royalties. If both of these songwriters had 2 different music publishers, then they would receive 25 cents each, or 50% of the songwriter royalties, and then the 2 music publishers would receive the same as far as the music publishing royalties, 25 cents each, or 50% of the music publishing royalties that come in. Let's take the same scenario. Let's say one of the songwriters had a co-publishing deal with his music publisher. That songwriter would then earn 37.5 cents versus the other at 25 cents. Out of all the many different scenarios that could happen, if you share ownership of a song with another writer and other publishers, it is wise to designate who will be the administrating publisher, meaning establishing out of all of its owners who will be the one who will take care of all of the song registrations and all of the industry databases and all of the paperwork pertaining to that intellectual property. It's better to designate that person or entity to do it rather than having each person who owns one song trying to register the percentages that each person owns. It does happen, but it can get messy really quickly.